Hey guys, it's Nicole. Welcome back to Chronicles of a Crafter. So today I am going to be working on this little leather bound journal. It's a faux leather that I picked up from the Dollar Tree. It's, you know, supposed to work with the Cricut, and I'm sure it does. I just haven't tried it yet. Instead, I used that faux vinyl to wrap a box that we picked up at the Dollar Tree again. So this is just what their fall boxes look like. I took that vinyl, wrapped it around this box, and came up with this. So we're just doing part 2 of this this journal that we're making. It's going to be more of a mini album, I guess, because I opted not to do the standard stitch in pages. We could have been done with this. Like, we totally could have been done with this yesterday had I decided to stitch in the pages of the journal. Instead, what we did was this. So now we're looking at doing a mini album type of signatures for this book. So what I decided to do, and I'll tell you another little secret. Here is my cover of this book. I glued it down really well, okay, and put some heavy things on top of it. In the process, it ripped. Okay, so this page, this little leaf right here got ripped off the front cover. This section right here was torn. So what I've decided to do is just take another duplicate, because if you remember yesterday I showed you I had several variations of this printout from another box. So I just cut another one out. Didn't even need to take it to the printer. I already had three of the photocopies. So I just cut out the other one, and I think I'm going to place this one right on top of it. I can even do puffy pads and make this a 3D type of front cover, but the options are limitless, right? The problem is working with Fabrifix glue. It is an alcohol base, so you have to be careful when you're gluing down your projects and how you're going to let it sit to dry. I think on the back side of this, I'm just going to use a little bit of glue stick and maybe some Fabrifix in the corners and just place it directly on top of the previous one to resolve the issue. And then we can go on and work on our signatures, which are more or less, you know, it's just pages that go into a book that does not flip. Like, it won't be like a writing journal. This will be more of an album, all right, if you understand what I mean. And I will just show you how we're going to accomplish that. Let's just go ahead and get some glue on this, and we can grab some cardstock. I'm going to use black cardstock, which will coordinate nicely on the inside here, and we'll just go from there and see what we end up with. And hopefully we can wrap this up either today or tomorrow. All right, go grab your stuff and I'll be right back. All right, so I'm just going to use some Scotch Create glue stick all around this front piece of the second variation of that front cover. And I'm just going to pop a little bit of Fabrifix glue in all of the corners. I tend to use my smaller bottle that has a wider nozzle just because it comes out a lot faster and it gets the project moving along. This right here is for more precise, you know, projects, like little tiny parts of a project. But this this bigger nozzle should get the glue out really quickly and get us going on this right here. So I'm just going to place this down directly on top of the previous. I did fussy cut out that little leaf in the corner right here, as well as added a little fall daisy that I picked up from the Dollar Tree. I just pulled off one little flower off of a bunch of flowers, right? So this should take no time to dry. I'm just going to use my brayer just to get that the Scotch Create glue stick really adhered to the previous one. I didn't want to pull the whole thing off of the faux leather because it would just ruin all of this and we'd have to start from scratch. I was not in the mood to experience that. So wherever the glue oozes out, I'm just going to wipe away the excess with my dry wipes. And I will clip this down with my little clips here, just to make sure that nothing moves. It all stays in place. And then we can move on to our signature pages. And I'm going to show you what we're doing with that. Just grab some cardstock. I'm using black cardstock for this. And let me just close up my glues. And the cardstock that's going to go into this project is this right here. I'm just using this 65 pound 176 GSM. So I know I have 5 pages inside of my book. I'm just gonna grab like 3, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pages. Okay, and we're gonna get as far as we can with this today. If we don't get all the way through it, it's not a problem. We'll just pick it up tomorrow, like the next day and the next day. So maybe for Stress-Free Saturday, we'll do something related to this, and it'll be fun. So here is my signature section. This is the spine, and I'm gonna measure this off. This is, let's see. Hi Joe. This right here. My son just got home from work. So I had to tell him hello. Hi Jojo. So this right here measures 7 and let's just go with 7.5. Nope, less than a half. 7 1/4. Let's do 7 1/4 for now. And I'll show you what we're talking about here. These right here measure 8.5 by 11, and we need to get this onto these little spine extensions at 7 1/4. So I'm just going to mark these all at 7 1/4, and we're going to use this 11.5 section to get the pages in. All right, set this aside again. I'm going to pull out my little tiny guillotine here. 7 1/4 this way. I'm gonna need my bigger guillotine, but I will for now use my ruler and mark it at 7 1/4. Okay, so every page will be this high, right? So there's my little mark, right? So all the pages will be this high. And what we do with the rest of it is up to us. Okay, so let me go cut these down to 7 1/4, and I'll be right back. All right, so I've cut my paper down, and now I'm just gonna do some scoring. So let me use this one because I still haven't unpacked yet from my camping trip. I still have all of these things still tucked into my my craft bag that I travel with. I know that my spines were all scored at 1/2 inch, remember? So we did 1/2 inch, 1 inch, 1.5, 2. So I know that my spine blades all have a 1/2 inch space that I can work with. I am going to score here on the, let's do a 3/8 of an inch. All right, so this first score mark right here will be 3/8 of an inch. And this is the section that we want to attach to that spine, right? So we'll put glue here and attach it to one of the blades that are sticking up in the journal, okay? So everything else that we do on this page is up to us, all right? I know that my journal right here, one side of it measures, I think it was 6 3/4, right? 6 1/2. So everything after 6 1/4, it's going to go inside the journal. So I'm going to first score at, let's just score at 6. All right. So now between this fold and this fold, this is the page inside the journal, this section right here. All right, so whatever we do over here is all free. It's a freebie. So I'm thinking I'm going to, I can make this into a pocket, so I can flip this on its side. I can then find the half mark, so it's 7 1/4. So let's just do 3 3/4. Well, let's do 3 1/2. Okay. So if I were to cut this down, right? I'm gonna, sorry, trying to get my scissors out. I'm gonna cut this down. I know it's not exactly half. Right up to that score mark. We can then flip this over, flip that over, and do 2 pockets here. Glue this section down, glue the bottoms of each one of these flaps down, and then we have 2 pockets right there. So there'll be one at the top, one at the bottom. And then afterwards, we can decorate the outside of this page. The important thing is getting your spine, this new quarter, what is this, 1/4 of an inch, 3/8 of an inch, glued to the blades on the journal. So I'm just going to make this into 2 pockets. Let me just fix my little boo-boo of a score mark right there. All right, make this into 2 pockets. I'm going to do a circle punch here at the top with my very large, crazy, dangerous circle punch here. Let's try to get this straight. All right, I'm pleased with that. And I'm just going to line it up and do the same thing down here at the bottom. Let's do a little bit more. Okay. So now we have 2 potential pockets that's going to go right there. What you need to consider is when you start to decorate this outside page, you also want to get your circle punches in the right spot for your decorations. So I'm going to grab some paper that's going to coordinate really nicely with the cover of the book, and I'm going to decorate these 2 pockets right here, and then we can call this particular page done. All right, so I'll be right back. Okay, so for this particular page, I've decided to use some of these mushrooms. I pulled this out of a paper pack. I'm not sure if it was this paper pack. This is from Recollections. I don't see any mushrooms in here, but I pulled it out of a paper pack for fall. Okay, so I'm going to measure whatever these 2 pockets measure and cut away enough to cover those 2 pockets. Okay, so I'm just gonna, I already scored it. I'll tell you what the score marks are in just a moment, but let me just cut this out. This is a 12 by 12 sheet of paper. And I basically scored it at 4 3/4 by just under 7, or just at 7. All right, so I scored it at 4 3/4, rotated it, and then scored it at 7. And these 2 will fit very nicely on here, right? So we just need to split it down the middle. So let's do that. I'm going to score it right here at 3 3/4. Okay. Oh, that was a crooked line. My goodness, I can't even cut straight. It doesn't really have to be that straight, but because we are going to trim it up in order for it to fit onto our pockets. But I mean, a straight cut would be helpful. My goodness. Okay. So I know one of my pockets is just slightly bigger than the other, and I'm okay with that. Like, you know, it is what it is. I didn't score it evenly, but my upper pocket is definitely smaller than my lower pocket. Okay, so these two will go on here, and these will be my two decorated pages for the pockets that are going into the book. All right, the only thing I need to do is make sure that I set them evenly in the onto the pockets to get those circle punch thumb notches. All right, so I'm placing these on top of one another. Let's just trim them up to make sure that they're even. So I just need to cut a very thin smidgen off of one side here. So that's nice and even. Look, these are just little slivers. Like you can see, I didn't cut that much away. Even these up, and then I'm going to use my circle punch to create thumb notches. Of course, with this guy, I always start small and work my way out. So I know that's not enough. I'm just going to cut it a little bit deeper. Okay, so hopefully this will be enough for here, and it still isn't, so I will just cut it a little bit deeper. I'm sure there's some wacky science behind this, some mathematical procedure that you can use to get this nice and even onto the circle punch, but I'm just crafting 101, guys. I've always told you, if you want crafting 225, it's down the hall. We are in crafting 101, and most of it is winging it until it looks good. Okay, so that to me looks good from my house. All right, and before I mess this all up, I'm just going to go ahead and glue it directly onto this paper. I still have my little glue silicone mat right here. And I'm just going to glue this directly onto the project. So we'll probably do 1 or 2 pages. I know for me it's late. Like, I've started this really late. I had a meeting today that I couldn't get out of. And yeah, so it's now like after 11 here. And I need to get this video uploaded to you guys for in the morning. I mean, that looks so sweet. So sweet, so pretty. I love the fall season. But yeah, I had a meeting today that I had to attend, and yeah, so that's why I am crafting so late tonight. And hopefully, just hopefully, I can get through all of this and still provide you guys with some content for in the morning. Oh no! Why? Tell me why. How did I manage to get my mushrooms upside down? How? I'm almost positive I held both of them together to start the circle punch, and my mushrooms are upside down. Like, what is the meaning of that? Let me go cut a new sheet of paper, and I'll be right back. Alright, it didn't take long. I just placed this on top of what was remaining from this, and I'm going to cut a new circle punch. So, a new thumb notch, actually. I'm just going to line this up with this paper here. Get it on here nice and even with the top. I'm going to fold this one back, and then I'm going to punch it with my circle punch. Alright, And of course it's going to be exact, right? So it's exactly the size for the pocket. So I need to punch it just a little bit deeper, not wider, just deeper, and it'll fit nicely. You know, I was very skeptical of using that circle punch because it always bites me in the hand somehow, but because I didn't say anything, it worked like a charm. Like, you know, like most things, you know, when that check engine light comes on, you take it to the mechanic and suddenly there's no problems with your car, right? I didn't mention anything about that circle punch, and it did not bite me in the hand like it normally does, and I'm pleased with that. I just need to get this lined up on here evenly. Oh wow, that is as crooked as a thief. Oh my goodness, that's so crooked. Hang on one moment. Un momento, por favor. Let me try that again. Oh wow, that was so crooked. Let me try it from the bottom. If I get both sides, right and left, on the bottom lined up. Okay, so there's something wrong with my page. I lined it up perfectly even at the bottom, and if you look at my circle punch, my thumb notch, it doesn't line up. So let's see, what can I do to fix that? Let me get some more glue on here to start, because it's definitely crooked, guys. I don't know what happened, but if I place this up here, yeah, I can see that it's totally crooked down below. Oh no, maybe it was just me. I don't know. I don't know what just happened. Like I placed it down here twice and it was just slightly off the whole time, and I don't know. It was just me. It's perfectly fine. All right. Okay. So now we have these two cute little pockets right there. Yeah, that's going to work out sweet. I'm going to bring in my book and just measure it up against the book one more time, because the last thing you need is for this not to fit. Alright, so now I see that my spine is definitely 1/2 inch. So this, my little spine attachment, definitely needs to be 1/2 inch, because then it's going to fall down too deep into that section. So that's an easy fix. I'm just going to butt this back up against the edge of the scoreboard and score it here at 1/2 inch. And then I'm going to fold this back. See, I thought if you scored it at 3/8 of an inch, you have wiggle room and enough room to play with. If you make a mistake, you know, it'll just fix itself down the road. But it definitely needs to be exactly 1/2 inch, and this will line up very nicely on the front here. So this does not have to be my front cover, my front page. I can place this all the way back here on this section. Right, so that can be a pocket that's somewhere midway through the book. So I'm just going to do that and use some art glitter glue, because it dries fast and clear. Okay, get enough glue on there, and this will never go anywhere once I put it down here. I'm going to try to get it as even as possible, and I'm placing it on the 3rd spine ridge in the book. I'm going to push it down into place, clean up any excess glue. Whoops. Okay, this is just a this which I grabbed. I thought it was my dry wipes. It was just sitting there on the side of my desk. This is just a Mr. Clean magic eraser, but I used it to clean off my desk after the cover made such a mess on the desk from you know, that cover picture got stuck and it made a terrible mess on my desk. I have all kinds of stuff stuck to it, paper and, you know, leaf images are stuck to the desk because of that front cover. It got ruined, unfortunately, but we fixed it. We are in the process of fixing it. All right, so now I'm going to glue down my two pockets. I'm going to do my bottom pocket first because I need this to be even. And what I'm also going to do is just cut away. So when you score it, you have a valley and, you know, you have like a little valley that the scoring board makes. I'm just going to snip away the valley from this bottom pocket right here. It's not going to change my mat of my mushroom paper at all. It's just going to create some space between the top and bottom pocket. Alright, so I just cut away just a little tiny smidgen, okay, from this bottom pocket. I am not doing this the traditional way. I'm sure there's plenty of other videos out there that you can go find and look at that'll give you specific measurements and you know, specific directions on how to create a mini album. I am just winging this, guys. Like, I've never created one before, either on camera or off camera. I am actually in the process of making one. I just never completed one before. I'm making one right now for one of my very good friends. She asked me for a mini album, so I'm like, listen, I need to practice because what I give her has to be ultra perfect. Okay, this is something that she is probably trying to gift to her family, and when I make that, it has to be so perfect, and that's what I'm doing right now. It's just practicing. I'm practicing the process of making a mini album accidentally because, again, I wasn't sure what we were going to make with this. I just started creating and suddenly it became what it is. So again, I'm going to start with the bottom pocket. I'm just going to add just a little bit of art glitter glue down here at the bottom, but enough to make sure that the pocket stays closed, right? Because you don't want things falling out of the bottom of your pockets. And I'm going to place a little bit of glue here along the side. Try to get that straight and only on the edge. So yesterday's video was just a lot of me just doing stuff. I didn't have much to say. I was exhausted. I had just gotten back from camping and I hadn't even gotten like really acclimated to being back in my crafting space, and I started another late video, so I was truly just so tired. One, from camping, and then two, from traveling back from the campgrounds, and then I had to unpack everything, get my room situated again, and here is my dry wipes that I was looking for earlier. So yeah, I was just so tired, and I whipped something together really quickly, and it's not that it doesn't look good. I was just so tired, guys. So you got a lot of music yesterday, and today you get to hear me blah 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 blah. I'm just a chatty Cathy today. But yeah, I mean, I'm just trying to create something on the fly. I don't have a prototype, and sometimes it's better that way. But yeah, I'm just creating on the fly. We're trying to get this little, what suddenly became a autumn mini album. But you know, I'm still in junk journal mode, so there's going to be lots of pockets and tucks and flips and turns and all kinds of stuff here in this book. So here is my upper pocket, and my goal again is to get it straight and not overlap this section. Right, so there's that. I'm going to move that so it doesn't get glued to the project. All right. I mean, for page number 3, that looks phenomenal. I mean, if you ask me, that looks really good. So this is our 3rd page in here. And this is so versatile that you can add another page on the other side of this blade and then pop a little magnet right here, and then, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, let's do that. So I still have my papers cut right here. They're all cut to size. And I know that I need a full 1/2 inch scored off the edge in order for it to fit into that blade. So there's my 1/2 inch. It's going on the spine. And I just made things up. Like, I'm not even sure if that's called a spine blade or what have you. I just made that up. Alright, so if it's not called that, someone who makes mini albums, please tell me what these things are called. I call them a blade. I mean, I'm from the IT world, and this looks like a Dell server. They're called blades because they all have like these little grooves on them, and they fit into a rack, and that's what that looks like, a blade. Anyway, so I'm just going to adhere that to here. And what shall we do with this page? Make a full tuck, like a full page tuck, or whatever we do, I am definitely going to adhere it to this page. So it probably should come out to about however high that is. So if I place that there, this page will come out to here. And I'm going to put a magnet on it because I can. So let's just score this up. These pockets measured 5, and that's not going to work. Let me grab my other ruler. My desk is total chaos right now. Like, I have not put away a single thing since the last time we crafted. That's not going to work. I need to get this down in here. So we're going to use centimeters. Sorry guys. We're using centimeters, and it's just over 13 and 2 little notches, whatever that is. So I'm going to use my desk is crazy town. Like, it is straight up nuts on here. I can't even see if I were to do that. So I'm just going to put a little mark right there. So whatever this is where I'm going to score it. Whatever it ends up being, I will let you know. So 5 and 5. Nope, that's too much. 5.5. That's too little. So it's somewhere between 5. Okay, so let's go with 6. We're going to score it. I opened it all the way up to the edge here. We're going to score it at 6. Let's fold that over right away. And on the inside here, I want to do something different. So on the inside of this page, I'm going to grab another sheet. Maybe if it fold over like that, the magnet will go here. I'm going to place the magnet on the inside here. Alright, so let's just grab that magnet. Alright, I don't know where my magnets are. Give me one moment. I'll be right back. Okay, so I found my magnets. They were right where I left them. So what I want to do is find a location for the magnet. So I have here the 1/2" score mark that's going into the blade. I have here my score mark at 6. That was so that it meets up at the edge of this page right here. And then I'm going to score at 6 5/8. All right, and that's going to be the little mini spine that I'm making, and it's going to house the location for my magnet. So my magnet's going to hide right back here at 6 5/8, right? So that is that score mark. This will lay flat right here, and when you flip this back on itself, now you have a location for something. I don't know what's going to go here as yet, but we'll figure it out together. So all I'm going to do at this point is just place a little bit of glue on here. So I'm not sure which one of my glues will glue magnets. I'm going to try Fabrifix for now, and hopefully that'll get it glued down without it sliding around. Guys, do you hear this? Like, my battery in my smoke detector seems to be dead or dying. It's suddenly chirping. I haven't heard that noise in forever, and now it's like chirping off the chain. We did have a power outage here earlier today, so that could be the reason why, because I believe it is tied to the fire system in the house, so I don't even know why it's chirping. I've never heard it before. But how many of you guys have like smoke detectors that are on battery and you just never change the battery and eventually it just dies? It just stops chirping and you're like, oh, I fixed it. But no, the battery is just now completely dead. I've never heard that chirping sound before here. So that's all very new to me. But here's our little tiny spine that we're hiding our magnet underneath. So let's just see what we get from here. All right. Yeah, we had one of the worst storms I've seen without it being like categorized as a hurricane. Today, this afternoon, actually, it was just the worst. I mean, trees were split in half down the neighborhood, and yeah, it was crazy. Everything was blowing sideways in the backyard. It was just a nightmare. So I've never seen it so bad before. Not to mention, we lost power for about an hour, hour and a half. And yeah, let's just hope that Fabrifix does glue magnets. If you guys use something else out there, please let me know, because I'm just hoping that Fabrifix holds this magnet in place long enough to connect to the other page. All right. And I may need to clip this down because I'm trying to do too many things at the same time. So besides gluing that magnet in place, I'm also trying to clean up my glue mess. Let's just see if that works. There may be a method, like I'm not really sure if magnets will, if Fabrifix, I mean, will glue magnets. So this may be something that we pick up tomorrow, because I'm not really sure if that's going to work. But for now, I can say that we've done this right here. I'm telling you, like, that chirping is going to get on my nerves after a while. So I don't know what to do. I'm guessing that it's a fluke and it will eventually reconnect to the system. So yeah, that power outage really ruined some people's day in the neighborhood. I saw a tree that landed in someone's driveway, and then it looks like they may have came home afterwards because they pulled their car in. So I'm like, wow, they're lucky that they weren't home when this happened, because that would have been, you know, better call Allstate environment. You know, that might have been a really bad scenario for somebody if they were home and their car was in the driveway when that tree fell. So again, I'm just cleaning up my excess fabric fix with my little rubber here, and yeah, that should work out really well once that glue dries. And this will go here, and yeah, I will place the other magnet over here on this side, and then that should clip in very nicely right there. So let's see. Yep, that'll work, guys. All right, so keep that in mind for tomorrow. I know tomorrow's going to be a stress-free Saturday. I mean, I need to make sure that stress-free Saturday is not stressful at all. So maybe what I'll do is I'll just cut a bunch of these pages, get them all ready, and then all we need to do is get our papers right side up and glued down onto our backdrops, so we have a coordinating set of pages in these blades here for this journal or mini album or whatever you want to call it. So yeah, and again, this is just a little faux flower that I pulled off of a stem from our Dollar Tree bunch, flower bunch. And yeah, hopefully this will be nice and dry in the morning, and I will not put it face down to dry with a bunch of heavy books on top of it ever again, because it did make a mess here on my craft mat. Alright guys, I'm going to leave you here. I think this looks really cool. This came out nice. It's like a little upper pocket and a lower pocket, just right on the third page of our journal. Alright, and then we will just move on from there and do the other 5 pages or whatever we have left. So guys, stay naturally curious, okay? Keep asking yourself, why is that thing chirping? Just keep asking questions. And yeah, just have a crafty day, and I will talk to you guys in the next video. Like and subscribe. Bye.